It is the first matchup of the day, and it could be a huge upset. If Ground Zero play like they did yesterday against Renegades, Order could be in for a world of hurt. Well, we have the pre-show here just to discuss everything that could go down and what could eventuate from this series. Look, Order, they really need this win if they want any chance at securing that second spot in the group.
Yeah, I mean, coming into, obviously, day number 3, the last day of just the regular group stage, you want that second spot because it allows you... Look, in the Oceania group, a little bit more differently, right? Top 3 teams actually proceed to play off. Number 1 goes directly into the grand finals, whereas for the semi-finals, it's actually C2 versus C3. If they're able to get that veto advantage nice and early as seed number 2, it's going to be absolutely critical because you don't want to be knocked out in 3rd position and lose your chance at getting some more RMR points.
Yeah, and it is all about the RMR points at the end of the day. That's really what they're playing for here. And look, Renegades, they are pretty close to securing their spot straight into the finals, and that's really what it's all about for them right now.
Yeah, I mean, they have been tested a couple of times, but so far still coming out the goods. Both their victories have been 2-0s. I mean, some of them have been a little bit tight. So look, just briefly touching over the other game, Cheese definitely has a chance, right? Just like Ground Zero has a chance of taking it against Order right now.
100%. Ground Zero yesterday, we saw some quality form. We saw pairs starting to absolutely pop off. And Llamas as well, when he's playing well, everything's going right. Noobster, he's there also. He's starting to fire up. You could see it yesterday on Dust 2. I believe he hit 30 at some point during that match. And even Burn as well was going pretty okay. But if Burn and Void started to pick it up a little bit, I feel like Ground Zero could have closed that one out. However, Order, from what I've heard, they are in a bit of a rough way right now. Valiant's still playing really well. Alistair always popping off. He even had to go to a different house yesterday. He apparently had a power out in his suburb. Someone else from a neighboring suburb allowed him to take his whole PC setup over there and then play that game yesterday, which is pretty crazy, and they still managed to come away with a 2-1 victory.
Yeah, I mean, Chiefs apparently were, from what I heard, were playing a little bit inconsistent overall. So, yeah, they were able to get the one map, but not able to take the victory. Look, just touching on Ground Zero, obviously, Mirage wasn't really the strong point for them in my mind. Renegades, all 5 of the members came in to pretty much play the game, and Mirage was overdone and dusted before you could really even say, oh, we're having a game on our hands, because that wasn't the game to watch. It was really Dust 2 when it was like all the stars lining up for Ground Zero, right? They had their 5 people actually functioning as a unit, all actually hitting shots, but at the end of the day, what cost them was a couple of individual plays and bad decision making. Look, you have to give it both ways. It cost them the game, but also great individual decision-making and plays. Also won the game for Renegades, and Ground Zero a couple of critical rounds as well. So, as you're saying, Pairs, he had a really good round here. We're going to need to see more of him because he's been very quiet so far this road to Rio. Llamas has really been the one that's performing for Ground Zero. Burn was starting to look a lot better on Dust 2.
If we focus on the positives, though, they took 3 out of 4 pistols, and their anti-ecos were very, very solid. So if they can pull that again against Order today, then they can put some easy rounds on the board and then maybe give their chances a nice little bolster. But we do have Order to talk about as well. We haven't actually seen them yet on the B stream. We haven't had a chance to cast these games, but it is the 5 men there that you see. It's Ustillo, Alistair, Jyra, it's Ricky, as well as Valiance. And Valiance has been turning some heads as of late.
Valiance has definitely been popping off ever since, and really a lot of experience now on this roster. And Valiance, every single game that I watch, he impresses me more and more. When he joined this lineup, obviously he's been always one of those young talents that's been touted in the Oceanic region as the next up-and-comer, and it's really good to see him actually reach that potential as well. And that's the important thing.
One thing I want to bring up about Valiance is he was very good with the Krieg, and a lot of people were saying, oh, he's only good with the Krieg, right? But he's still popping off now. The Krieg's gone. The Krieg's out of the meta.
I think the more important thing was, and you're looking at players like, say, I guess the biggest example would be Brolin from Fnatic, right? Really good with the Krieg. I don't think so. It was just the Krieg that helped him. Yes, maybe it made him look a little bit sharper and whatnot, but the positioning and the decision making was absolutely phenomenal from him a lot of these rounds. I didn't see a lot of these basic errors that normally come out, which can actually can be affected by a weapon nerf, because sometimes if you're a little bit stronger with the Krieg, it's covered up, but no. And that's, Valiance was really good as a player already.
Yeah.
So that's why you can see there's continuing this good form coming into these critical matchups right now.
Yeah, well, we'll see how they do today. And look, we might even be able to finally see some train over here, Order. They've been picking it, and I'm excited because we have not had too diverse of a map pool. We finally got to see some overpass yesterday, so that was quite interesting. But if you want to talk about maps like Inferno, that's there as well. Have we seen an Inferno over here? I don't think we actually
No,
got
we
to
haven't
see
seen an
one.
Inferno just yet. So Inferno has obviously been played on the A stream a couple of times, but really it's just been the Mirage Dust 2 show for us mainly. It's been
bit of
2
nuke.
zeros. That's the whole thing. A bit of
Yeah.
nuke, but the majority of games have been 2-0 except for one yesterday, obviously from the Group A Asia stream where Tiger weren't able to take that victory at the end of the day against Avicii Gaming. So look, I want to see more maps. I want to see a bigger, varied map pool, because it keeps it exciting. But we might be able to see the same thing again.
Well, in this veto, there is a chance. There is a chance. Both these teams play Vertigo. And we might finally be able to see some Vertigo. I would be so pumped to see both these teams going head-to-head on it. And I feel like it would maybe be a third map, maybe. But before we get there, we're going to have a quick look at this video that MC has prepared for us as well. He's used Sandbox to break down a couple of rounds from Order's match yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, this is a couple of rounds, 2 consecutive rounds where we see Order actually executing on Inferno. Look, could we just pause it right there? A bit of a backstory in terms of what's going on right now, right? It's map number 3 in the series where if Order lose, that means that Chiefs actually come second in the group. So it's not over and done just yet. Chiefs finally able to get on that defensive side. They didn't really have a good T side, but they're starting to make their way back in, and Order come out with this lightning fast A execute. And this is a big thing, right? They don't throw this Molotov into pit. Look at where Jinx has deployed that smoke grenade, and look where Skull Hunter is, but it's already too late. They're keeping their heads down because they're thinking it's going to be a bit of a slower diggity take that you have players pushing out. But by taking the site instead, lightning fast and clearing it out, they actually have the favorable angles at the moment. And you can see from here, there's no chance that Skull Hunter can actually set up a crossfire with Jinx, and they're just completely taken out. APOC Dodd's been locked out of smokes this entire round, and that's it. The round's done and dusted because of how Order approached that.
Yeah,
and the next round,
pack mentality.
Yeah, and a different look in this round where Order, instead of executing on A through diggity this time around, it's through apartments. And you look at how the players are coming out together. This time around, Skull Hunter is forced to go into site. Chiefs recognize that the problem with the crossfire before was that they didn't have anyone actually setting up those lines of fire. This time around, they try to set it up, but the flashbangs from Gyro, who was over at mid earlier, was just too good. It forces Skull Hunter out. He can't deal. And by the time the CTs try to engage, it's never a favorable angle. I mean, Mac, you can tell me how hard it is for Make It to shoot from that moto position into pit.
Exactly, and as that smoke blooms as well, he's going to be forced to run into the open. He goes down, site player goes down, Jinx as well. He's going to be left last alive to fight, at least to go for a trade. He didn't want to be seen as a beta, of course, and he got taken down as well. So that is just some lightning fast aggression all going together, and I believe that's what we're going to see a lot of today. Order just trying to use their raw skill to try to take down Ground Zero.
Yeah, and one thing that worked really well for Order was that they were just coming in really lightning fast. That's why, and it just worked a charm.
Well, speaking of lightning fast, we have the vetoes, which we need to get through because the game is apparently pretty close to being ready. So no train, no overpass. Vertigo still in the map pool. We got Inferno and some Vertigo, which are the 2 secured maps we're going to be seeing, and Mirage as the 3rd. I'm excited. So Inferno and Vertigo, that's 2 maps we haven't seen on this stream yet. Both coming up to kick off the day.
Okay, this is actually a really interesting veto because the reason why for that is that this Inferno pick coming out from Ground Zero is indicating something that we may not know of in terms of internal prac, or maybe Ground Zero having an understanding. We've seen all these 2 days they've actually been defaulting to Mirage, right? Mirage has always been that Ground Zero strong map, but maybe it's a little bit of they're not feeling as confident on Mirage. There's been poor showings from them against Chiefs and against Renegades these last 2 days. Or maybe they're seeing something in Order's gameplay where they're able to maybe just sneak out a victory. Because Vertigo, both sides can play this. This is looking like a really good chance for Ground Zero to cause an upset. But if Order come in red hot into the server, still unlikely.
Well, let's have a look at our thoughts as well. All 4 of the boys giving their predictions, and we're all on Order today. So we have our favourites here, but do you think... Like, after seeing that video, I'm thinking we might even be going to a 2-1 unless Order just absolutely demolish Ground Zero on Inferno. I guess we'll see once we get into the match.
Yeah, look, Order have been struggling traditionally on Inferno recently. It's good to see that some of the executes are working for them now, as you saw just then from the Skybox videos. But, I mean, coming into this, we need to be able to see that they're able to hold off against the aggression from Ground Zero.
Yeah.
And we need to see all 5 members of Ground Zero functioning as a unit and firing up. Their road to Rio is not over just yet. They can't be playing this like it's heads down. We've already lost. No, they have a huge chance of actually taking an upset right now. The map pool is working in their favor. I mean, you're looking at the GG bet odds. Yes, of course it's going to be stacked against them. I'm still predicting Order because they're favorites in this.
Of course.
And I still don't see Ground Zero causing an upset today, unfortunately, because from what I saw yesterday, they're still a little bit too cold.
Well, I think a lot of the time as well, the odds are made before they see the map pool. So that map pool as well, as we said, could provide any kind of experimental play, you know, ground zero. They are aware orders sometimes. They have been going to Inferno for a while, and sometimes it hasn't worked. Even against teams like Chiefs, you know, teams like Avant, they'll go in and be like, oh, cool, we're going to pick Inferno, but then they don't win it. And for a while, there was a lot of issues, but they've started to iron it out now that they've got Ricky in the lineup and hitting shots.
There's still one problem with order sometimes. I love the order, boys, don't get me wrong. I love some order up myself. You probably do as well. But there is always a case of order going up maybe about 10-1, and then they're starting to lose their mojo a little bit. So, I mean, I hope I don't see that happening, because that would allow Ground Zero back into a series where they really don't have a chance to win.
Well, let's see if they can cause the upset here. It's their map pick to kick things off, and Order get their choice offside. So, will they start on the CT side? We would assume they will here. It's going to be the first match of the day, first map of the day. It's Inferno for the first time here on the B stream in the past 3 days. And Order, they're going to be on the defense to kick off the festivities.
I'm just glad that I'm not seeing a Mirage of Dust 2 again. I'm kind of sick of those two maps, to be honest. It's just been the case of the same, a little bit of the same old time and time again. So a bit of a different look in, obviously, this time around. Ground Zero, 2 sets of utility compared to the one of Order. Or actually, there are 2 sets on Order as well. But Jara is just going to be the bait, but he almost doesn't get out in time. He misses that jump. Now Ground Zero just going to be executing on this 3-man stack from Order.
Aggressive the whole way in. Now Val wants to take contact, but now here comes the push. Gyra needs to make his move at some point. It's going to be Ricky as well with the crossfire on the back of sight. Gyra falling, but it's going to be a 3-for-1 trade. Llamas now needs to go massive. The bomb's going to fall down over towards the barbecue, and it is Llamas to fall as well. Big picks, big hold coming out from Order. They made the read, and they just held their ground perfectly.
Yep, I'm glad that I've hyped up Valiant for all the right reasons, because he's sitting at new box there. He's not even giving Ground Zero a chance. Ground Zero pairs on the entry, has to hit 2 phenomenal shots to flush out the CTs from those positions. Yes, Jara goes down, but he's really just one part of the bait. And as Ground Zero proceed in, they fall further and further into the trap. Pistol round secured by Order. They've got a couple of SMGs they're looking to farm up on Alistair as well as Estillo. Looking to see some aggression coming out from Estillo. He loves getting in the face of his opposition.
Order with the 3-2 split. Jara very ambitiously positioned there, but big damage onto Burnt, who couldn't trade any out. And now with the deep smoke there at Banana, we do see Jara slowly progressing forward. Just clearing out logs, clearing out Olaf. No rotation just yet, Ricky. He's going to be left solo at B, as Jara will make his way to A and look to send it for the 4-man stack.
Yep, they've taken some nice deep early Niner control, but this is still susceptible to be taken by just a couple of nice shots. But Burns already been tagged down quite low, so Noobstop, he's going to trade out weapons, and he's been spotted as well. So Ricky's just going to hold on there. He's got no reason to be shifted off the angle just yet. And now these shots coming out from A as well means that Order will just continue their 4-man stack for now.
Jara in a decent position there to stop any aggression on the side of the smoke. No bullets connecting, but it is going to be Ustillo with the aggression as well. Peeking at Dig at the perfect moment. This 2-man advantage, it should be easy peasy. Oh, aggression again, back to Dig, and Ustillo is feeling it, but it's Noobster with the Deagle who's connecting, and Jara will be there to fall as well. Big shots coming out from the big man, but Ali will re-aggress at Dig again just to go for the trade. There it is, 2 on the board for Order, and a solid start to Inferno.
Yep, but Ground Zero did some damage, getting 2 picks there, so it is forcing some reinvestment coming out from some of the players. You wouldn't be too upset if you were a Stillo, but for, I think it was Gyro that was going down as well. That's a great shot from Noobstar. And that actually means that the FAMAS was lost, and Ricky actually going for the upgrade this time around. Valiant's off to a pretty solid start, as you said. Ground Zero actually going on another eco, as they did try to force up a couple of pistols just then, not really working out for them. They didn't get the bomb plant down earlier on, and so Order just looking to punish them even further.
This aggression almost working out. Ali making a whole lot of noise on the retreat, though. You can see Llamas going very aggressively towards the halls, just looking to go for a trade. But, oh, Ustillo now going to be stuck in a rough position. Llamas will fall. He has no head armor, and those bullets from the MP9 cause so much damage. to little old unarmored terrorists, but that's the aggression down Banana, and this should be the round already done. Bomb control in the hands of Order now, and it's all up to Pez to maybe get a pick, maybe find something.
Yeah, but it's over, done and dusted. I don't think he'll get the pick. I think Alistair will just add some more money into the bank account as well. There it is. It's actually Valiance who's covering that angle. And Order pretty much not really giving Ground Zero a huge look into any of these into these eco rounds at the moment. Yeah, they might lose maybe one gun at most, but in reality, that doesn't really matter. And that round, they didn't lose a single gun, I think. So money's starting to stack up a little bit for the CT side, and they're going to take that bonus round forward. They're going to be confident rolling into this one. As Ground Zero, finally, the AKs and utility come out, and the first chance to really try to make another dent into their T side.
Level Void with the counter utility coming through. It's going to be a faster approach from Ground Zero all the way to the top of Banana. Molotov not hitting the mark there. It is going to be Burnt doing the hitting as Ricky manages to pull back a trade. Is going to expend that smoke just to buy some time for maybe a rotation. But there's nothing coming out from Order. They are sticking to their guns. Three-man stack over towards Bracket.
I'm really surprised that Gyro gets caught out by that, and that kind of shows maybe not really preparing for this matchup, because Burn, we've seen him a lot of times find that gap in the Molotov. That is a very predictable thing a lot of the time. The fact that Gyro is caught out in the open there and not expecting it, this is a bit more indicative of me that Order are just taking a bit more of a stock standard approach. They haven't really looked at how Ground Zero play. They're not really that scared, because, I mean, you've seen how many times Burn does that play.
He does it a lot, especially when he does have the spawn. But the thing as well, maybe Order could have been caught off with the veto, not expecting to be playing Inferno first.
Maybe so.
Ali in a strong position. Llamas doesn't quite spot him. He peeks out, but here's Pez now. Looking for a pick himself. Llamas falling back, looking to regroup over towards the B site now. But as there has been no sound made, Pez might have actually heard the rotation from Order.
No, I don't think so. He's heard the jungle player coming out, but with Usilo going all the way through library, I mean, Order, they are gamble stacking, but with 30 seconds left where there was no top mid control from Ground Zero, they're more than comfortable doing this, because they didn't hear anything in apartments, they didn't hear this default control coming out, and 15 seconds, the T's are just walking straight into the stack.
Oh, and Usilo flashes himself in, perfect movement, and gets the two-man. It's actually Ali to come into the mix, but there goes the bomb, and Pez will at least get away with an AK and his life, because there's no one close to trade, but Order take the round happily. That's 4 on the board.
And that's just down to Order understanding what parts of the map they have and when they need to actually back off. 35 seconds left, and the fact that Ground Zero hadn't taken this top mid control yet made them very comfortable going back to B. And that's also down to Ricky just doing a really good job holding onto his utility towards the end game there. He only had a flashbang and a Molotov incinerating grenade left. So the fact that he's able to stay alive and just make sure he sits there and makes presence and doesn't get picked off, really critical for Order to pick up their 4th round. Ground Zero buying straight back into it, but it's lacking a little bit in utility and firepower, and now Alistair has whipped out the AWP. And there's one thing that we know about Alistair.
He's very good with that weapon.
He's very inconsistent with that weapon.
He's very aggressive with that weapon.
Yeah. Look, when Alistair is on, he will delete pretty much everyone from the server.
Well, it could be one of those days.
Could be. If he's off, he deletes himself from the server.
We will find out shortly.
I know that sounds really harsh, but it really is. He is such a good AWPer. But consistency is the key.
Now we see Ground Zero taking some bracket control here, or at least looking for it. Molly going to be thrown in reaction. And it looks like there could be a flash coming through here. No, it's a boost over the top. Gyra staying silent and gets a freebie onto Pairs. No trade. Burn will attempt it, but Order already falling back. So that's going to be the 5v3 scenario, and Order should be able to win it from here, unless GZ makes a huge play.
Yeah, this is just down to, once again, Ricky is just left soloing the B bomb site. He's very confident, playing aggressive, drops that smoke atop Nana, and makes it really difficult right now for anyone of Ground Zero to proceed. It's like the previous round, where Ground Zero, they've taken one side of the map, but there's just nothing else they can really do. Once the smoke does fade, it's going to signal a rotate, but Estillo is just dumping this defensive utility. He understands 20 seconds left. Now could really only just be an A attack.
The GZ maybe just leaving it a little bit too late. Can they crack the site? Val in a very strong position here. and deletes that bomb from side. It's all up to Llamas now, who can't get anywhere near the bomb, near the enemies, and it's Ustillo to hold like a champion. 2 on the board for him, and Order just holding their ground. After they got that man advantage, they weren't forced to do a thing. Ground Zero took a little bit too long to make a decision there, and off the back of it, Order had brilliant crossfires there on the A site.
And here's the thing is, for Ground Zero, you're losing just pretty much from that first minute, right? Like, you've lost map control because you're down a man, you already don't have utility in this round. So you're down a man who I think did have utility, and it just gets worse from you there. You try to take this top mid control, another guy dies. And Pears just caught out by a surprise boost. And Ground Zero trying to take Nada control. This is, I think Nada's probably their best bet so far. Gyro's been caught out in the open multiple times, and he either dies or takes a lot of damage, but it's just that pick once again from Alistair down that mid area.
And burn. Crosshair placement just too high there. Couldn't find the 1D, gone to Gyra. But he did get some damage early on. Pears falling again without any opportunity to make an impact in the round. So it's looking essentially like what we saw yesterday, where on Mirage, Pears was getting shut down by Renegades over and over without being given a chance to fight for it. Ali doesn't quite get the timing, baits out the shot, knows that the T's are going to be focused on this position, but it's a couple of Deagly boys on the other side. Well, he goes down. Ali now doesn't want to lose it, but the wrap already comes straight through. Archers at the perfect moment. Gyra holding the spray, but he runs out of bullets. Noobster gets the trade. So it is going to be a 2 for 3 situation now.
Oh, Stillo, this is so smart. Relocating to an area which is very difficult for Ground Zero to clear out. They're going to be more focused over in pit position. So you can see Stillo is going to have at least a chance to try to win that round. But Noobs is pretty good on the trade so far. He's got his preferred weapon as well in hands now on a 1-on-2. And he's looking to go aggressive to Diggity side. But Order not going to give a chance for the duels to be isolated, as Valiance has a lot of utility to use.
Noobster going aggro, knows one man at least is over towards his Archer's position, but now he's going to be stuck in an awkward situation. He's actually just going to tank the smoke. He's just sitting in it, going for the timing play.
Might have found the timing as well. Picks off one, and now Valiance still has time to find the pick as the smoke is going to fade. Valiance is trying to go out on top, and eventually it's going to be Noobster. No, he can't get the sidearm out, and there just isn't enough time, I think, even with the kit. I think Ground Zero have just won it thanks to Noobster. No, it is going to be Valiance who barely gets it. Beautiful movement.
Had just enough time to get onto the bomb. It would have been in the last tick or two. That was crazy close, but Order come away with yet another. That should have almost been a Noobster round as the smoke faded. He obviously had to take a fight, but if he just stayed beneath him, stayed alive for that extra 1 second, 1 millisecond even, it would have been a completely different round.
That's down to, I don't know how many milliseconds it is, but look, that is really unfortunate for Noobster. Played really well on that clutch, nearly won the 1v3 as well, but not this time, as now the aggression coming into Nana. Ground Zero burns, managed to flip once again his way between the 2 fire grenades. And this time around, Llama is able to punish some of that aggression from Estillo. But look where Alistair is, he's still pushing forward, and Llama's, I don't know if Llamas has been spotted. He has been spotted now. Alistair just going to be waiting as the rest of Ground Zero going to be attacking the A-bomb site.
Oh, but Ali going very aggressive, manages to swap to the AK, wants some more, but he can't hit the shots. It's Pears now managing to get the trade. It's the 3v3. Valdo, he's here. Noobstar takes him down, and we are back to the 2v2. Bomb now going to be retrieved and planted just before the rotations come through, but it's anyone's round this time.
Yep, Ground Zero finally able to get a couple of entries and start converting it, but Ricky's got the AWP up against Noobs' AWP in apartments right now. There it is, Gyra is going to be picked off. And I think this might just have to be a save from Ricky. There's just no time in. He can't really find the picks. Ground Zero not giving him a single opportunity. There it is, the first round being picked up. Alistair, if he's able to get a second one, could have maybe made an impact.
And look, Ricky is right as rain just to save that AWP over to the next. The money is there to buy again for Order, so full investment will come through. But there it is, Ground Zero. They get on the board, they crack the egg and start to cook up Brecky. It is a 5-round lead still for Order now. What can Ground Zero do to string 2 together? Because their economy is not going to be in a great way, as we can see. There is the full buy coming through, but if this round is lost, Ground Zero won't be in a great financial position.
I think both sides, if they take the loss at the moment, they won't be their economy would be struggling. Both of them won't be in a good situation to try to get out this utility and firepower.
It really is a swing round.
But Ground Zero in a bit of a better spot because they still have that loss bonus. Burn's done a really good job here. He's already forced... Here's a critical key right now for Ground Zero, right? Once they take this Nana control, they need to take this top brackets before the 1 minute mark. The fact that they're going apartments here, a little bit risky. Burn's going to come back. So we saw Order use this earlier against, obviously, one of the enemies, but Astillo is going to see the flashbang, and out comes the players. Void gets a beautiful entry. And I think this is the round locked out already for Order. Great stuff from Ground Zero, and Order just need to go on the save.
But if we know Alistair, he is potentially going to go aggressive here. If he can find a pick, it's back to the 4v4. And then before you know it, might be around. But no, the discipline coming through. Order realise their financial situation is absolutely terrible. And with 4 alive at the end, only 1 kill comes out in the round.
And the hard counter to that strategy, I would say, would be the Diggity and top mid setup, because as soon as you cut off that aggression from the other side, Order would be able to control mid and be able to retake the site. The fact is they'll set up for something completely different. They weren't expecting that, and that's a really good call coming up from Ground Zero. I have to mention, once again, that is key for... Ground Zero's key to winning that round was taking that early banana control. The fact they have this banana control about the 130 mark in the round means that they can do anything there. It's a beautiful change up. And that's Order's economy. Look, it's in the bin, but because they save 4 weapons, they can have another go at it.
And they still had so much utility remaining from the previous, so dropping a rifle over won't cost them too much here. Although, it is awkward. Like, do you drop him a Famis as one of the 3 players that already has the utility, or does Ricky cop the loss? And yeah, he's going to be dropping that M4 across and will only be able to get the double flash, but at least he has the AWP to play with.
Yeah, but so far this AWP has been absolutely useless. I mean, on the B-bomb site, it's really been Alistair that's been doing the damage to the AWP, who's been going aggressive. But Order now going to be taking a tactical pause just to talk about what's going wrong. And I would say that this needs to be some emphasis on trying to figure out how to contain this Nana control from Ground Zero. As soon as Ground Zero has this banana control and top mid control, it's been looking really good for them. They're understanding how to punish Order. But here's the key. Order should have enough experience to recognize what's going on and fix it from there. And that's what that tactical pause is for. Let's see if they're able to remedy this situation with this double AWP setup again.
Well, they need impact. That's the thing. Ali, he was way too passive on the site there. Couldn't hit the one shot he needed to trade out Ustillo and have any chance there in the round. And at least he fell back and he gave himself a second opportunity as we move here into the 9th round. But even so, Ground Zero, they can certainly turn this half on its head if they manage to continue this aggression. Ricky on the corner. Oh, I think he just hit Noobster there through the wall, so very unfortunate for him. But Gyro's copped some damage himself as well. And oh, big nade. Burn goes down to half. And it's going to be a faster approach. Ground Zero already looking for the entry here. Straight through. Void gets it done. There's Gyro falling. And it's all up to Ricky to try to buy time for the rotation. It's the 4v4, so a retake situation is certainly on the cards.
I'm not sure if Noobster actually spotted out Valiance, but I think I might have spotted the cross. As Void is looking to get aggressive into Garden. Lots of patience from the CT side because they know that they've got time still to work with. They've got utility to burn as well, but
there's time.
Yep, and Void just caught out in the open there. Ricky will punish that over-aggression. These are the small mistakes I'm talking about. 4 and 3 right now, and Ricky's going to just be picking up more and more. He's just single-handedly cracked open the case, and Llama's trying to get the diffuser. Not going to work out in this case. It is going to be actually the knife fight that works out in the favor of Llamas. So it's a bit of extra cash for Ground Zero to work with, a lot of cash for Llamas to work with. So it's looking pretty good for Ground Zero money-wise, but Order still up in the round count.
Oh, you love to see it. Llamas comes away with the BM kill. It looked like Ali was just going for the knife of his own, but Llamas was ready and waiting. And that's going to be 7 on the board for Order, so a solid start. Looking for the majority. 3 did remain at the end of the round. Both AWPs still carried across. But no AK retrieved from the other boys there on Order. Ground Zero have been winning these rounds, or at least gaining site control off the back of some great entries coming out from Void this game so far. Big wall bang from Ricky. Oh, and he's found another as well. Burn just to the right. Noobster may be able to get some redemption, but the round could already be lost unless he hits his shot.
I was really hoping that Jara gets picked off there because he's been having a really rough game and it feels like nothing's going right for him. At ground zero, they've lost 2 early on. Ricky's now on point with his secondary AWP, and that's the impact that I was talking about earlier. Alistair, what is he doing there? Oh, he needs to drop that utility and get out. Pears, very unfortunate. He can't punish Alistair for a lack in concentration.
Well, both of them caught with utility in hand, so it was a very awkward situation. But still ground zero. They've got this bracket control order. We see a re-aggression. Ustillo has a little one-way underneath the smoke there. But Llama's trying to go toe-to-toe with Valiance here. Only at Diggity. We'll buy some time. Pears is actually going to be isolated forward. I think Ustillo spotted him. Certainly has.
Maybe so, but it's still so difficult to fire it out because now that you're really concerned about this mini-pit player, you still have to try to expend all these forces to flush him out, and Ustillo's done really well just to buy enough time. Noobs has come in just at the perfect moment, not only just to get the bomb plant down, but to clean up the last site defender as well. So ground zero have managed to somehow bring this back to a 2-on-2. The A site defenders not really playing in unison and not getting the crossfires down thanks to some good utility use, I would say. And both defenders now split apart. And whoa, that is a disgusting one-tap coming out from Pears.
Joel getting it done, and it's Ricky now realizing that in the 1v2, just with an AWP, it is going to be very hard to win it unless somebody oversteps their boundaries. But Pears, he's still got 99 HP. Where the bomb's planted, he's able to survive in pit, although both of them going to exit down mid instead. Didn't want to suffer to a grenade, but there it is. Another round on the board for GZ, as they found themselves 3 on the T side here on Inferno. So we said they needed to make some big plays to get back into the round, and that's exactly what they found. Whew. Shots like that, just keeping this alive for GZ. Big entries. I think Noobster got a 2K on the entry there as well, so he certainly had some impact there with the AWP on the T side, which is something that a lot of the time doesn't have huge impact.
Moves is making it work out, and although the scoreboard is not looking too great overall for ground zero, in the rounds that have counted so far, they've been able to get the kills and the impact.
Ricky, he's actually gone over towards the A site this time. It's just him and Valiance holding down the fort. So just changing up that position, knowing that ground zero are probably expecting him to be towards that B site where he has been for the majority of the game. And there's the first, but now they've completely found the position of the AWP. And with that, do ground zero continue to force their hand towards the A site, or will they go back towards the stack at B?
A lot of responsibility for Valiance just to hold on to this position as well. He's just jiggle peeking every now and then, and he does spot out one. Oh my goodness, what a disgusting shot coming out from Valiance. He's done really well so far, and he still has a smoke grenade and a teammate to play with. As now, it is going to be Jara taking the initiative, getting a lot of map control, pushes down deep banana, and that means that this jig is up for ground zero. They're going to try and get out of mid, but this is so spread out right now, and Ricky's in the perfect position to not just get one, but to try to pick off more. It's all down to Noobster. He's been a hero so far, but no more because it's actually Valiance this time. It's going to be the anti-hero for ground zero.
Val certainly looking like the superhero there, just off the back of a 3K on the Deagle. Huge shot to initially start things off. There it is. Nice jiggle, lined it up, went for the re-peek and perfectly struck the noggin. But there it is, 3 on the board for GZ and 8 up there for Order. So they've got the majority. Can they find the double digits? That's the big prize here on the CT side of Inferno.
Yep, and you feel a little bit bad for ground zero there. They had all this control over at A, but the problem is, once again, Bernardo not really taking it nice and early and forcing people back has been really the costing factor for them. So Alistair going aggressive mid once again, puts one up for Order, which means they've got the numbers advantage. Llamas and Pears going to be taking the apartment control, but eventually you have to see ground zero maybe using a little bit of utility back towards Nana, otherwise the attack is going to be too one-dimensional.
Util coming through. Reactive Molotov coming up from Ricky there. And Pears is just going to tank that. It must have spread a bit further than they expected because he's taken 80 damage for free. Awkward situation, but he does re-aggress towards Diggity, waiting for Order to push forward. Maybe make a mistake, but now here comes that execute from ground zero. They're going to be funneling straight through Diggity now. No crossfires established here because it's all on site as Ustillo just waits across the other side of the smoke. But there goes the bomb, and here is the hold, just perfectly destroying Ground Zero, picking them apart one at a time. And all it was between the two teams was a smoke, which seemed to be Ground Zero's downfall.
Yeah, I mean, that was Ground Zero smoke as well. That wasn't an offensive utility being deployed by Order, and Void decides to charge straight through it. He doesn't really have the teammate support there. And I mean, I thought for Ground Zero, those smokes would have been intended for them to wrap a little bit more around the site, try to clear out pit safely, or the mini pit area, should I say, before they come out. But no, they just go straight through, and they're just not in a position to trade each other out. Yes, they got the numbers deficit, but that looks so clean for Order. Their money's really good right now, and out comes a fast banana take. But this utility being used as well as the firepower. Looks like Order's able to hold on for now.
Well, there's not too much left there of Ground Zero after copying the grenades, and the wallbang almost connecting onto Llamas. This aggression down mid as Ustillo will find a single. Ali just barely whiffs that second shot to close out the round, and Llamas now has an opportunity on 8 HP to get back into it, but Val here stops him in his tracks as he smashes it through the smoke, looking to catch some timing back towards A, but GZ, they cannot get it done, and there it is, 10 on the board for Order. Perfect anti-eco.
Really unfortunate they're facing up against Ricky, who's in really good form today. I don't think he's really missed an AWP shot, and his positioning alongside Valiance's has been absolutely superb, and they're the ones that are really doing the bulk of the damage for Order. Ground Zero, just no counter for that just yet. They try to take Nana this time around, but finally Order do punish them for it without taking any casualties. So, CT side, a lot of cash to play with in Alistair. Yeah, Alistair is just playing with food right now, and that's a disgusting thing to see.
Smoke coming out nice and early towards the top of Banana, but it is a faster aggression down towards the bottom from Order. Gyra all the way at Logs, but I believe Burn is aware of this position. Ali, just gets off the line at the wrong moment. Noobster could have been some prey for free. Ricky taking the blind battle there through the smoke.
It's the same old problem though. Ricky's now been posted on the angle, which means that there's going to be 4 in the A bomb site. And that's always the dangerous part. Still utility for these players on the A bomb site to work with as well. At least Ground Zero has some time and some smokes of their own to try to force their way in.
You can see with that confidence as well, Ricky is happy just to hold the B site all on his lonesome. But the bomb is starting to head back down mid.
It has to.
Yeah, well, to win the round, it probably has to. But we do have an aggression from Gyra and an Archers player as well. Ali may be able to draw attention. Ustillo throws an extra smoke to buy the extra time. 30 seconds, and now here comes the utility. Ground Zero, they're going to be forced to run through this smoke.
Yep, and Gyra just needs to put himself in a really good position to try to make sure he maintains this run into Nana. And there it is, Gyra stalling it for long enough and calls it out. So all Order need to worry about right now is really just this library wrap or this B bomb site. They're not too worried about the cash if the T's do get the plant down, because Ricky is there.
Huge.
And Llamas, he has to plant inside the smoke. He's by himself right now, so he's going to commit to it. But Ricky, he's coming forward. And he's just going to get Llamas straight through the smoke as well to add insult to injury.
Absolutely marvelous hold. Smacked it on the cross and then, look, couldn't deny the bomb plant, but Llamas, there's not a lot you can do when the CTs know exactly where you are. He made a nice movement over towards the top of Oranges and might have been able to go up over the top and find Ricky, but he didn't know exactly Ricky's position and just had to try to work the timing. But there it is, 11 on the board for Order, and Ricky is playing absolutely perfectly over on that B site.
I mean, I think this game can be summed up as if you maybe have killed Ricky or maybe killed Valence, you've won a round, because they only have 3 deaths each. And I mean, Ground Zero, just firepower-wise, I would even argue it's not really firepower that's been the problem so far. It's just Order are able to get the advantage nice and early on. Banana is so critical, and Ground Zero just haven't been able to win it most of the time. The rounds that they have been able to take this banana control, I hate to beat the same drum over and over again, but it really is when they have this banana control, job becomes a lot easier. Now Gyra,
very close towards the top of Banana. One man blinded. He's going to fall, but Burn in the anti-flash position is able to turn it into a trade. So we are back to the 4v4. And Ricky, again, is solo for the moment, but Ali already on the rotation, expecting a faster push from GZ.
This is revolting. 2 AWPs holding the B-bomb site. You don't see that very often, but hey, if you just click, if both of them click successfully, which is historically what they're pretty good at doing, that just means it's a 4v2. And they are going to be committing onto the B-bomb site, and Alistair going to be posted up on the correct angle. He is unable to click successfully. So is Ricky.
Oh, Ali just flashes himself through, finds Llamas, Ricky as well, holding it down from the back of the site. Secondary pulled out, Ricky gifted so many opportunities, but Burn will finally shut him down. Wants some more as well. Ali trying to find anything through the smoke. He knows the lineup, but Noobster planting up on the box. Manages to survive for another shot. Cops the wall bang, and it is going to be some extra aggression. Val down to half HP now. It's all to Burn, but nothing comes through. And Order are going to finish the half 12-3. Absolute dominant performance on Ground Zero's map pick so far.
Yeah, and they're going over to the T side with a huge lead as well. This is pretty disastrous right now for Ground Zero, in all honesty.
Well, as we do head into the half, we have a break to go to, but there is much more action on the other side. Can Order close this one out quickly as they head towards the T side, or can GZ get back into the game? Find out soon.
Questioning my destiny, only knowing what I see. I don't even realize I've already made a path, and I can change it anytime. I can't take it back. I know what I want, but it seems so damn far away. I know I sound crazy to the ones who said oh. I know I empower those who dream like me. I know I sound crazy to the ones who said oh. I know I empower those who dream like me. And you say you wanna be somebody. Then you better use it. Tell yourself day after day it's time to prove it. No days off, keep the hustle moving. Wanna see you be what you wanted to be, prove it. I know I sound crazy to the ones who said oh. I know I empower those who dream like me. I know I sound crazy to the ones who said oh. Say you wanna be somebody. You say you wanna be somebody.
Well, second half is going to be a scorcher if Ground Zero can manage to take a pistol. They are on the defense now, which is their strongest side. But Order, what can they do on the offense? It is the real question. They only need 4 rounds here on the T side to close out the first map of the series and take us over to Vertigo. It's been a bit of a lackluster performance so far from Ground Zero. A couple of beautiful plays in there, but some very nice clutch gameplay coming out from Order. Oh, Leet for Ground Zero there, up on the GG bet odds.
Not the kind of lead that you probably want at this stage. Let's be realistic about it.
Yeah.
But if they're able to get the pistol and able to secure a couple of rounds here on the CT side, might be in a better position to kind of get the way in. But looks like it's going to be a wraparound through Moto's side, as it's going to be Void that's trying to hold off. But the crossfire for Pears is not going to be absolutely great because he can't really land these shots. And now the rest of the CT is coming forward. Valiant's trying to get into the strong pit position, has a USP as well. And Alistair caught out in the open. Means that Ricky has to be the one that's making the impact right now. Noobster must be left standing, not for long.
Yeah, well, quick round and Order put an end to it before anything has begun, and that is going to be 13 on the board and probably 14 GZ. They may be forced to force into this. It's Inferno. Pistols being brought up. You have a great opportunity at close ranges to have some very high impact, and that's exactly what we're going to see Ground Zero realize. They have a whole lot of distance to cover, but can they do it? They really need to hit these shots, and at the moment, that is not happening. Order, they've got a couple of Mac-10s looking for a faster approach and potentially not even expecting this buy-up. Noobster, he's got this nice line down mid, but misses the headshot. So, unfortunately, not a great start to the round from GZ, but given a second opportunity, again going to whiff.
Yeah, both players from Order unable to really connect shots as well, unable to return shots at land. So Order just slowly taking this progressive control as Pears. Not much he can really do with that Deagle. Has been just taken out of the round. He's going to be sitting on the sideline. And Order just grouping up for this 4-man apps take. We've seen this earlier before. Gyra is the one that's going the single flashbang, and Void's in the perfect position, but he's going to be cleared out.
Oh. Couldn't get too much work done. It's cheesy now. It's all up to Llamas and Burnt to get anything done, but Llamas, he's grabbed that scout, and you can see him just retreating over towards the B site. Order, they've secured a 14th already. This could be done before we've even got anything going. We've just finished a break, and we're about to go to another one. Unless Ground Zero managed to fire up. It's just taking a little bit too long. Hopefully, as we do head to Vertigo, they may have a bit more in the tank for us there, but Order, they are ready, and they want the W as best as they can and as early as possible.
That's the whole thing, though. If Ground Zero are unable to get a couple of rounds here, it's going to feel really harsh coming into Vertigo, because it feels like they're just losing every single aim deal. You don't really even know what's going on wrong for you in Inferno, because you're going to look at that and just go, I just couldn't hit them. Right? It wasn't as if you look at it and go, yeah, we can beat these guys because we got them in these rounds, we counter-strategied them. You lost Inferno because there's this dude called Alistair and Ricky and Valiance that just kill you, like as soon as you try to go somewhere.
It was exactly the same as what we saw in Mirage yesterday, bringing it back to that game. Order here, 8-0. Yesterday, Renegades 8-0, or maybe it was 8-1. I think there was maybe a pistol one at some point, but Ground Zero just weren't looking too spectacular.
I don't think it's reflected on the scoreboard. No one's really positive for Ground Zero at this stage. In Order, they're coming in. They've got, I wouldn't say a whole lot to play for in terms of they need to prove themselves, obviously, but they want to close this out the series nice and well.
Yeah.
So and it looks like it's just going to be A again. And we might see, this is a good time where we've seen the Skybox stuff again and again. So, nope, it might be a wraparound through jungle side this time around. Just Noobster is going to be the one leading point, and he's not been looking good so far with that scout. Unable to land a single shot with it.
Well, that crosshair placement certainly looked perfect. Unfortunately for him, couldn't get too much done. Pears finds a headshot, but it's all to Void to hold, and there is just too many men. Order pack mentality here on the T side, and it's working wonderfully. Burn goes through the smoke, works the timing, can't find another headshot. Almost an opportunity, but Val will pick up the scraps, and now it's down to Llamas to try to close it. He finds one on it to his ex-teammate Gyra, but here it is, 15 on the board for Order now, looking to close it out before we even hit the 20th round.
Not much to say about it. No. That was just down to Order just go, hey, let's just go enter together. They get the trades, and it works out perfectly from there. They're getting a little bit loose, though, you could see to the end, where they're starting to hunt for kills, and maybe the post plants being a little bit less tightened and disciplined.
But the execute itself looked very much like what we had a look at on that Skybox clip that MC did deliver to us.
Yeah, I mean, they're just coming in unison. They have a clear plan of what they want to be doing. Look, Ground Zero can buy up into this one, and as Noobster finally gets an AWP and shuts down Alistair, who's assigned to run around wherever he wants. Not in this round. So they're just going to switch out players into Banana. And the reason why for this, Burn has no utility.
He's used it all already. And at least if some more gets used here by Llamas, then Ground Zero, Autumn maybe are going to think that there's still 2 towards B. But even so, Ground Zero's B hold has not, well, been tested yet, but it is about to.
Yep, and Noobs is in the perfect position as well. Smoke is going to come out soon from one of the players. You'd have to suspect there's someone on the angle here as Ricky, so lucky to get away with his life. Noobs is actually going to push up. That's because Ricky didn't hear the scope earlier, didn't hear Noobster coming in because Noobster walked in. Didn't make a sound.
Just waiting for the perfect opportunity, though. Noobster in a great position. Finds one, falls down. Trade from Llamas as well. That's going to be the 4v2 now. Let's see if Order can bring it back from this position. It's Ricky and Ustillo in the 2v4.
Yep. We're going to have to crank back the ears a little bit and look to some of that immunity magic to bring to Order right now, as they are outnumbered and pretty much outgunned at the stage. No utility to work with, and Ustillo's just all by himself, and they know he's the bomb planter. He has to win this first engagement. Not going to work out. Llamas realizes there's only really one opportunity for, or one place where Ustillo really could be in. So at least Ground Zero do grab one.
And with 4 alive, it's what they need to have any opportunity, if there's an opportunity to find, to get into the game.
They just need to build rounds at the moment to get their heads back into the game, to get some confidence rolling into Vertigo, where they should be starting, I think, on the CT side. Would you still pick the CT side?
Oh, Vertigo's been very heavily T-sided for a little while, so I'd assume it would be T-side they've chosen, but I haven't seen it since there has been the update. So from what I've been told, though, it's made it more T-sided and more towards a B-site meta because you're able to split into it, and it's very hard to hold that B-site now.
Yep. So look, enough about Vertigo for now. We still have Inferno that needs to be cleaned up by Order, and for Ground Zero to try to make some damage and try to get some momentum back into this. Great shots coming out from Noobster so far. That's doing some impact.
But Order, you can see they are going to go for the group up in apartments, just clearing this one out together. Slow and quiet approach, and it looks like as Ricky starts to make his way up mid, he actually has no utility to send him out apartments, so it's going to be a dry push. Ali goes through Void, he gets the trade, but Ustillo for the refrag and gets another as well. Burn, he is looking for the kill at long range. Now Llamas flicks around, huge play coming out from him. Back to the 2v2 we go. We are going to see Valiant stuck there at default for the moment. Gyra can't quite get the angle over the top of the default boxes. Ooh, pre-fire comes through. Llamas down to 21 HP, has a Molotov to utilize, but the cross has already come over Graveyard. Now Llamas falls, it's all up to Noobster. Finds the first, couldn't get the second, and Gyra closes out the first map of the series, 16-4. Big plays from Order and a chaotic final round, but they get it done very, very one-sided. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be breaking this one down in the post-map discussion. We will see you soon.